What's up everyone, Alex here. The skill panels in Tales of Arise can be a bit overwhelming, especially since there's so many of them. In this video, I want to share with you the different categories of skills that you'll encounter in the game. These categorizations apply across all characters, and I'm hoping that knowing what to expect will give you a good foundation on where to spend your SP. Please keep in mind that this will be more focused on helping newcomers acclimate to Arise's skill system, and that recommendations found in this video will be geared towards giving you more mobility and boost during combat. I'm hoping that this video will give you the confidence to experiment with your own builds. If you've got your own builds that you'd like to share, please don't hesitate to share it in the comments below. This video is chapter marked for your convenience. Also keep in mind that there will be lists, so you'll have to look at the screen on occasion. For our first set of skills, I figured I'd focus on skills that will help improve you and your AI party members' survivability during battle. More mobility is always great in an action game, doubly so in a game that's focused on guarding and dodging. I highly recommend newcomers to the Tales series to make this one of their main focuses when investing SP. To make dodging and guarding easier, invest SP in a skill that reads Easier Perfect Evading and Guarding. There are multiples of this skill per character, and the more you invest in this, the easier evading and guarding will get. Investing in this skill will be especially helpful for both Kisara and Dohalim, who benefit greatly from guarding and evading respectively. In the same vein, unlocking more mobility options for your characters will give you a lot more ways to avoid incoming attacks. You'll be able to unlock mid-air evasion, mid-air jump, and a way to recover from when you've been sent flying in the air. Unlike easier perfect evading and guarding, you'll only need to spend SP on these skills once. One other movement option that you'll want to consider is actually a combination of two skills, Counter Edge and Counter Edge upon enemy defeat, which allows you to teleport to your next target using Counter Edge after defeating your previous target. This allows you to stay in the thick of the action and continue your combos. Much like the previously mentioned mobility options, you'll only need to spend SP on this duo of skills once, though you can spend SP on multiple iterations of Strength and Counter Edge to increase the damage inflicted by this attack. Specific to casters, the skill Art Casting Mobility will give them additional mobility when casting arts, which will help their survivability immensely. There are multiples of this skill, so the more you invest in this, the more mobility will be afforded to you. Specific to Kisara is the skill Guard Mobility, which will allow her to move while guarding. While it won't allow her to evade quickly like everyone else, the extra movement will help players get Kisara into a better position for incoming attacks. People don't like it when their party members die, so investing in KO prevention is a sure way to help them stay in battle. How this works is that for every KO prevention skill you've unlocked, there will be a higher likelihood that any mortal blows that would probably kill will merely leave you with 1 HP remaining. This is a great survivability skill that is a must-buy each time it shows up. There's a saying that goes that the best defense is offense, and now that we've gone through the skills that help with survivability, it's time to mount an attack. While not necessarily a skill, keep in mind that each circle will unlock a stat boost if you learn every single skill on it. This is especially helpful if you feel as though that you need to enhance a party member's attributes. You'll be able to view this by highlighting the center of the circle. If you're using a lot of normal attacks, consider spending SP on Increased Normal Attack Limit, which will help you extend this by 1. Over time, you'll probably be spending less time using normal attacks and more arts, but this is a good investment early on while you're learning the ropes. Because of Tales of Arise's increased focus on boost, I highly recommend that you spend your SP on boost incrementing skills. The reason for this is that boost is really important to always have available, as it can not only fully replenish your arts gauge, but can also down enemies when done correctly. The benefits of focusing on these skills really do add up. In the game's final dungeon, my entire party was able to use boosts 5 to 6 times consecutively in several fights with no downtime. There are several types of boost generating skills that you'll find in the skill panels. I should point out that there are multiples of these skills per character, which means their effect keeps getting enhanced the more you invest in these. CP will determine how long you can keep exploring dungeons, and unless you want to keep spending CP restorative items to prolong your dungeon runs, I highly recommend spending some SP on CP restoration when full, which regenerates a certain amount of CP after battle for as long as your party is full. There are multiples of this skill that you'll be able to unlock, and the more you spend on this, the more CP will be restored. Since casters no longer have to worry about MP, this leaves them with one aspect of their gameplay they can improve upon: casting time and resilience. By improving on these aspects, these skills will help bring them in line with melee-based fighters in terms of damage consistency. As you can imagine, this greatly improves Rinwell's gameplay, though some of these skills will also benefit Xion and Dohalim as well. Keep an eye out for the following skills. As with most other skills, these appear multiple times, so these effects get enhanced the more you spend SP on them. Outside of fully replenishing your arts gauge using boost, spending SP on AG regeneration is a great way to make sure that your characters can keep using arts. There are a few skills that can help restore AG should you need to do so. As you can imagine, there's multiple of these skills around, which means spending SP on these will enhance AG restoration greatly. You'll unlock Overlimit once you progress far enough into the game, which not only allows you to unleash arts without spending your gauge, but you'll eventually be able to unleash your super powerful mystic arts as well. Prolonging Overlimit can be greatly beneficial, especially if you want to keep using arts on your foes. The following skills will help you extend or activate Overlimit easier. As with other skills, you'll find multiples of these per character, which enhances their effect. Time to put focus on improving damage dealt. All of these skills are situational, but if you manage to spread your SP across the board, you'll increase the chances of being able to deal a lot more damage over time. Investing in the same skills multiple times increases the damage bonuses. In order to improve your gameplay with your favorite characters, you'll have to spend some SP to improve their unique skills. For example, many of you have asked me that some Flaming Edge arts aren't available for Alphen. That's because these arts can be unlocked via the skill panel, and that some of these are unlocked via main story progression and side questing. In fact, many of the questions you've asked me about character builds have more to do with this category of skills than anything else I've mentioned here. I won't go into detail and name all of these, as this would unnecessarily prolong this video, but you'll notice them immediately just by what they do alone. Here's a summary of what these do. Alphen's skills have more to do with unlocking more Flaming Edge options and increasing the damage of Flaming Edge at the cost of more HP. Xion's skills allow her to manage her ammo a bit better, while also improving her healing art potency. Rinwell's skills allow her to bank her charged magic faster. Law's skills allow him to activate Awakening sooner and enhance its effects. Kisara's skills improve her ability to hold aggro, as well as empower her guard ignition, which enhances arts that are activated while guarding. And Dohalim's skills extend his weapon's range and enhance its damage. Of course, the more options you have to deal damage, the more you'll be able to sink your teeth into the battle system. That's where buying new arts comes in. If you're feeling like there's something missing in your toolkit, just buy new arts. Keep in mind that some arts only unlock after using specific ones repeatedly and ranking them up. But if you can't wait that long, there's always these ones to buy with SP. Ultimately, arts complement the fighting style of each character, so think about how you're going to use these abilities before buying them. The descriptions are typically really good at describing what they do. Now that you've learned the different categories of skills, I want to share with you my approach when selecting skills. My build consists mainly of improving boost gauge regeneration and complementing that with survivability, mobility, and high damage output. Arts variance and art gauge regeneration were deprioritized due to the eventual unlocking of new arts through repeated use, as well as the constant AG regeneration afforded by investing in boost. Given the heightened importance of boost, I focused a lot of my SP on boost generation early on. Having boost up as often as possible has a myriad of benefits, as I've mentioned in multiple videos, from controlling the battlefield, which of course greatly helps players who get easily overwhelmed with what's happening on screen, to fully replenishing your arts gauge, allowing you to deal more damage. Apart from that, I also focused on the skills I mentioned in the survivability portion of this video, which helped my party take some of the more dangerous attacks early in the game. Out of all the survivability skills I've outlined in this video, KO prevention was something I immediately put points in. Any opportunity to avoid using life bottles or spend CP for resurrection is a good thing in my book. When these options were all purchased, I then focused on buying skills that increased my damage. This also included any character-specific skills that aren't arts. About midway through the game, I shifted focus towards completing certain skill circles to help improve my character's damage and defense stats. This, combined with prioritizing boost, damage, and character skills, were all considered when selecting what skill circle to invest SP in. Speaking of SP, I want to stress the importance of battle chains, as it multiplies the amount of SP you receive after battle. And since the number of side quests aren't as numerous as other games in the genre, I highly recommend taking these on at every given opportunity, as they give some good SP as well. And that's all the info on skills that you might want to know when speccing your party. If you have any additional questions about these, please feel free to post them in the comments below. And if you've got a devastating build that you'd like to share, skills or arts, post them in the comments below. I'd love to help you enjoy Tales of Arise more, so if you need more help, I highly recommend checking out my other Tales of Arise guides as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.